Good morning students. Today in this module we are going to continue with types of migration. So here is the types of migrations, that is voluntary or forced, external immigration and emigration, internal, rural to urban, urban to rural, rural to rural, urban to urban. So let us discuss voluntary and forced migration first. Voluntary migration is where the migrant has a choice whether or not to migrate. These people had a choice where to move and if they should move at all due to pull factor such as example, new jobs, education opportunity, marriage and better life condition. Now over here voluntary is a example of pull factor, and in forced migration it is push factor, where a person is forced to in migration. A government or authority forces someone to move due to push factor, for example war, natural calamity, overpopulation, lack of employment opportunities, etc. Voluntary and forced migration are categorized as external migration. These two are external migration, where it is outside the country. Okay, so next is immigration. Immigration is the international movement of people to a destination country of which they are not natives and do not possess citizenship to reside there. So example is many Mexican immigrate to USA due to close proximity to the border and availability of work in California and Texas. Because of ability of work, they are moving over there to USA. What is emigration now? Emigration is if one emigrates, he or she leaves one's resident country with the intent of settling elsewhere. Means she is, or he or she is a resident of a country and they want to settle somewhere else. Okay, this is called emigration. Example, at present North Korea maintains one of the strictest emigration bans in the world. Okay, now what is internal migration? Internal migration is internal within the country. Okay, internal migration figures in country shows that migration in India is dominated by female migration due to widely prevalent social customs or marriages. Okay, internal migration is within the country itself. The example is because of the major example is because of marriages, that is a social custom where a girl has to marry to a man and has to um, leave her place. Now these are the impacts of migration. First is impacts of migration, that is negative and positive impact. Let us see positive impacts first. So labor productivity. Over here in positive impacts, less pressure on local labor market, more efficient labor allocation and increased labor productivity is there. Negative impact is loss of the most productive force work, shortage of skilled agricultural labor and lower agricultural field yields. Your income and resilient to shocks. That means more stable income through remittances and increased HH capacities to face production and other stocks. Remittance dependency and increased vulnerability of remittances receivers to fluctuation in labor demand and sudden shocks. So these are the some positive and negative impacts, where the migration is having some positive impacts also and some negative impacts also. One more example of positive impact you can see: reduce person land ratio and environmental improvements. Remittance used for the purchase of non-essential goods and high energy consumption. Okay, so students, go through these positive impacts and negative impacts of migration properly and complete your assignment which I had given in the previous module. And in the next module, we'll discuss with a brain drain and impacts of brain drain. Thank you.